Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Israel. So in today's video, we'll be building a random color code generator using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So whenever I click the generate button, the color code change and the background color also change. If you would love to learn how I did it, so let's dive in. So we are going to write the HTML structure, and then let's give it a title, random color generator. So let's create a div with the class container So inside the div we have the h1 tag, which is the heading, color code generator. So we have a p tag, which will be the code where the color code will be. So let's give it an id of color code. So and then we have the button. That's why generate. So let's see. If we preview the website, we can see. So now let's style the website to make it look good. So let's go back to this is the CSS file. So let's connect the CSS with the HTML. So after the title tag, so let's link the CSS. So link rel style sheet. So the href will be the file name, that is style.css. So it has been perfectly linked. So now let's go to the web page. So let's style the body. Let's give it the height of 100 vh, and then display will be flex, justify content center, align items center, and background color white. So let's start the container. So that will be dot container. So let's give it the padding of 30 pixel. So shadow, the box shadow, 15 pixel. So let's give it color. Let's give it a color code, something like this. So border radius of 10 pixel. Let's preview the website. So the shadow is too much. Let's reduce the shadow to gray. Let's preview the website so we can see. So let's make it flex, display flex. flex, justify content, center, align items, center. So let's give it flex direction, column. So now let's style the button. So let's come back to the HTML. So let's give the button an on click of generate 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 etn. So let's save it. So let's come back to the CSS file and let's style the button. So button, let's give it padding of 15 pixel from the top and bottom and 30 pixel from left and right. So let's give it color white, background color of black, border radius of 10 pixel, border radius of 10 pixel, border radius of 10 pixel, 10 pixel. So border none, border none. So let's check the, you can see it's looking good but needs some spacing. So let's give it some spacing. Margin, let's give it 10 pixel, 10 pixel. So let's give it cursor pointer. So let's give it an over effect. So that will be button to over. So let's give it background color of, so as you can see. So let's add a dummy code here so it will look blank. So let's come to the HTML and let's write something like this. So let's style it too. So let's come to the, so let's give it, so hash color code. So let's give it font width of 600. So let's give it margin of 10 pixel, 10 pixel. Font size of 24 pixel. So let's make this margin top because the button already have the margin. So I think it's looking nice. So let's move to the JavaScript section so it will be functioning. So let's come to, so that's where, let's link up the JavaScript file with the index.html file. So after this div, so write script src, that will be script.js, and then so we've already linked it. So let's start the code. So function, and then the on click event that was here. So generate button, just copy it onto C and then come to So let's put it, and then let's open the function. So let's just, so right, const, so that let the letters equals to, so we'll give it 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So and then give it A B C to the F, A B C to F. So it should be, let's make it capital letter. So that's for that. So let color let color equals to, so the hash. So that means color will be the hash. So for so let I let I equals to 0. So those are the column. So I shall be than greater than 6. Should be greater than 6. So add the colon, add the semicolon, I plus plus. So that means we generate a random six characters from these letters. So it will add it to this color. That means the color, we already let this hash be the color. So the combination will form a color code. So let's now make the functionality. So math dot floor to bracket math dot random math dot random. No, let's make it like this. So sorry, it should be, let's combine the color with the color code. So that is color plus letters. So inside the array there will be math dot floor. So in math dot random, math dot random multiply by the 16 letters, and that means the letters here. So the sum is 16. So multiply by the 16. So it will generate random letters, random 6 digits of letters from the figures and the letters in the letters. So now let's make it have effect on the, so sorry, document dot get element by id. So that means the color with, let's go back to this HTML. So we give this p tag in an id, which is the color code. So let's copy the color code and come here. So get element by id. So we'll paste the color code. So that's the id we use, and then so the text content will be equals to the color. That means the color is generated from this alphabet and color, from these letters. So that's that. So, and then let's go back to the website. So when I click on generate, it's not working yet. So there should be an error here. There should be an error here. So from this side, so come in, let me check color. Oh, I see. This is the error. So let's save and come back to the website. So you click on this, what document get color code. Let's check the, so that's the color code. Sorry, this should be equals to color, equals to not plus. Let's save and come back to the web page. Can you see? As I click on generate, the text, the color code, this color code is changing. So now let's now make this color code the background there. So let's come back to the web page. Let's come back to the code. So under this, write document dot body. That means that's the body. So dot style dot background color. That means we want the background color to change. So according to the generated color, so we choose background color. So let's make it equals to color. So now let's save and come back to the web page. Can you see? So as I click on, so the color, the background color is colliding with this container. So let's make this container another color. So let's come back to the style. So the container, let's give it a background color of white. So let's save and come back to the web page. So whenever we click on the button, so it generates random color. So and it serves as background. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button. I'm posting simple code projects like this every week. So learn with me. See you in the next video.